world's richest beggars. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel for each remarkable Amazaballs video. Today we are showing you the top 10 richest beggars inside the international community. But in advance, we set it in movement. Ensure to sign up for our channel and hit the notification bell icon to in no manner bypass out-of-movement pictures. Here we begin. Number 10. Mishu, the beggar who takes an auto rickshaw to paintings. Mishu might be the swankiest beggar you may ever see. And now no longer to say one of the most potent contenders for the crown. The richest beggar inside the international. He lives in Mumbai. A 60-year antique guy begging, in torn garments and teary eyes. Your tender coronary heart will experience pity at this sight and prefer maximum others. You too will lighten your pockets a touch to assist the needy Mishu. He works each day from 8 p.m. until 2-3 a.m. and earns around 1,500 to 2,000 rupees each night. We have already presented millionaire beggars, like him strolling after the crown of the wealthiest beggar inside the international community. Before 8 p.m., wearing easy white garments, Maulana Khan is visible popping out of an auto rickshaw close to Mishu's bedding spot each day. Well, Maulana involves Mishu's bedding spot through an auto rickshaw, then wears his begging attire and turns into Mishu. He is already the proprietor of an asset well worth 300 million rupees. And the icing on the cake is his satisfied own circle of relatives, including a spouse and married sons. Number 9. Professor Erwin Corey, the guy who doesn't beg for himself. Every day close to the visitor's sign of 3rd Avenue on East 35th Street in Midtown Manhattan, an antique guy becomes visible promoting newspapers by knocking at the motorhome windows that for a stall on the Crimson Mile. He is a well-known stand-up comic, Professor Erwin Corey. He might accumulate the cash and donate it to a charity that offered clinical resources for kids in Cuba. Mr. Corey did now no longer simply paintings for charity. He by no means desired to forestall operating. Instead, he became so obsessed with operating that he carried the display on his shoulders until it stopped. Number 8. Hiram Feng returned to pay off the woman in hundreds of thousands who've helped him with a small quantity at first. 17-year antique, Hiram Feng begins begging at the streets of Teju metropolis in China's Zhejiang province. He began out begging to assist his circle of relatives, hoping that sooner or later, a ray of mild will pave a course inside the darkish pit. One day Ron Feng and his buddies had been standing outside crowded noodles. However, it becomes impracticable for them to consider a bowl of noodles, even if they had been starving. The noodles owner Dai Xingfen became a kind-hearted woman who fed them free of charge and attempted to get a task for them. Unable to discover any task amongst her contacts, she gave those, much less lucky, a few cash to visit Yuangyan to get jobs. But the tale does not stop here. Wang Feng strongly believed that wealth isn't as critical as integrity. So he went lower back to Dai Xingfen and paid her $163,000 as a grateful gesture. Number 7. Saravashi Devi pays 36,000 rupees yearly for her coverage premium. Saravashi Devi is a celeb beggar who's in her 50s. One of the top famed names inside the Begging International of India, and the boss of her locality. No different beggar even dares to begin his enterprise in Saravashi Devi's area. She is the satisfied proprietor of a cushy domestic in the back of a shock cinema and has an adequately settled married daughter. She will pay 31,000 rupees and 5,000 rupees yearly for 2 coverage rates well worth Rs 3 lakhs and 1 lakh, respectively. Number 6. Sampaji Kale, owner of a couple of residences in one-of-a-kind towns of Maharashtra. After studying this article, many humans would visit Mumbai to be inside the run of the richest beggar inside the international as opposed to going there to be an actor or to get any white-collar task. Because as soon as again, we have a passionate and devoted millionaire beggar who will dare you to assume 2 times approximately your destiny profession options. Begging is Smapaji's circle of relatives. The circle of relatives of 4 begs on the car location of Mumbai. Incomes around 1,000 in step with day. You would possibly have a sarcastic smile on your face, thinking, that's the most effective 30,000 a month. Sampaji isn't the most effective beggar, however. Additionally, an energetic investor in numerous worldwide companies. He has made investments of numerous lakhs, and his financial institution account declaration will make us need to cover ours. Moreover, he owns a flat in Virar, houses, and a bit of land in Solapur. Number 5. Krishna Kumar earns around 2,000 in step with day. We have some other Indians on our listing, and all over again from the metropolis of goals, Mumbai. The metropolis of goals fulfills the goals of beggars correctly. Our guy at consciousness, Krishna Kumar is a young, devoted, and hard-operating beggar. The richest beggar within the international community. He owns a flat in Nalasapara in which he lives together with his brother, also known as finance supervisor. He is so devoted to his task that he now desires an economic supervisor to address his finances. Number 4. Edie Williams became millionaire through making a song and begging. Our subsequent candidate to be the wealthiest beggar within the international community isn't like the others. Unlike our preceding mentions, Ted Williams didn't hold betting upon getting rich. He has his methods of begging. This former radio announcer skipped a number of the most challenging instances because of his dependency on pills and alcohol. Jobless and kicked out through his circle of relatives, he didn't supply up. So he decided to present himself with some other hazard to get up an upward thrust again. In January 2011, the auto drivers in Ohio, Columbus, observed a person's status through the street, making a song to the motors with a handwritten sign up his hand. Everyone stopped to concentrate on the songs. However, aside from donating a few cash, none cared. A reporter from the Columbus Dispatch observed him sooner or later and uploaded a video of him making a song on YouTube. Rest is a record of how the video went viral as soon as Ted became a millionaire through operating for professionals. Number 3. Simon Wright earns €50,000 a year. On the pavement of London's Putney High Street, this guy might take a seat down in ragged garments with a handwritten sign, homeless and hungry. For 3 years, each day, he might take a seat down there from morning until evening, and you may see clean symptoms and symptoms of being poor on his face. Police Constable Oliver knew him properly and sympathized with him till one night. One night, Oliver accompanied him to his home to make higher preparations to peer in where he lives. But little did he recognize he was going to have the most significant surprise of his existence. Oliver located Simon stepping into a high-priced council flat close to Fulham, and to his surprise, he found out that Simon had become the proprietor of the €300,000 flat. Number 2. Aisha, an Arabane centenarian, owned whooping assets well worth $10,666,580. Aisha becomes like a different, not unusual place of beggars on the streets of Saudi Arabia. This 100-year antique blind woman spent more than 50 years begging like a beggar, not an unusual place, and becoming a famous face to passers-by. In 2014, she all at once died at her home, leaving hundreds of thousands in the back for the poor. It stunned the complete nation. No longer for the demise of a centenarian beggar, however for the truth that she becomes the proprietor of a mystery asset, which includes gold coins, treasured jewelry, and an exquisite actual property portfolio well worth an incredible quantity of $10,666,580. Number 1. The richest beggar within the international, Bharat Jain, owns high-priced flats. The first on our listing is Bharat Jain. This 53-year antique guy comes from the metropolis of goals, Mumbai. You can typically meet this Sela beggar at Azad Maidan or CH Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus. He earns around $2,000 to $2,500 an afternoon through bedding for 8 to 10 hours, making the sum of his month-to-month profit as much as around $7,000 to $5,000, around $1,000 a month. That is extensively extra than what a median Indian earns. Mr. Jain is the satisfied proprietor of 1 BHK residence in Patel Nagar, well worth $8 million. Moreover, he's a chairman too. This beggar owns a store at Bandup, which he has set free to a Jews keep, and from the rents, he earns $10,000 more every month. So that is how the lives of those beggars grew. Take a look. For extra updates similar to the video, and subscribe, and spark off the notification bell. We'll see you inside the following video.